to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Lemmy Champ or Lucky Track Dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot,
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough in Chrissy.
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
We're sure you'll giggle a little.
And learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Tim.
And I'm mental.
How do we show 402 and how do we still struggle to get the show started? Anyway, it's episode 402. You thought we were going to talk about...
This is just how it is. We're not struggling. This is just...
It's a carbureted show.
This kind of incompetence comes to us naturally at this point. We're not even faking anymore.
We're not, and that's what's sad. You think be a little bit more professional. You thought we were going to talk about the Peugeot 402, but you were wrong. The Moscovich 402 is a compact car manufactured by the former Soviet automobile maker MZMA. First time produced in 1956 as a second generation of the Moscovich series. In comparison with its predecessor, the Moscovich 401, the M402 model featured many improvements, which included independent suspension with double wishbones, telescopic shock absorbers, 12-volt electrics, and more solid and comfortable car body, more modern truck, heater, standard car radio, wide viewing range for the driver, etc. The styling of the Moscovich 402 followed the fashion set by similar cars of its time, such as the Hillman Minx Fiat 1100, the Ford Perfect 100E, the Javelin, and the Ford Consul MK1, as well as by the larger Volga. Wait, you're not driving a Soviet sedan? No way. And yes, Mike K., we know you were probably wrenching on a Soviet sedan, and we love you for it.
We do.
Something a little different.
Speak the truth.
I was scrolling and was like, oh, these the Peugeot 402s. And I was like, ooh, what is this? That's a cute little car.
Boom. Yeah. Peugeot. I love it that we are so deep into this that Peugeot is mainstream. Like, played,
right?
you know?
Well, we also did the 401 last week, so I don't want to do the 402. That's boring. Okay. What you working on? Who is gonna start? I feel like the three of us were together, so we know we did. Mental, let's hear about your weekend. I'm sure it was...
So originally planning on being in Bonneville until today. We're recording on a Tuesday, and then I was going to go to Denver, but got my dates a little wrong, so I ended up coming home yesterday. More on that in a minute if we have time. So that's literally all I did. Is like after the show last week, the next day I left and went to Bonneville, and that was my whole weekend until last night. And now there's a land speed car in my garage I've got about 11 months to get caged.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
It's another
Doesn't
project.
count because it's not my car.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's how it works.
Keep telling yourself that.
Doesn't matter what I'm telling myself. It matters what I told Vicky when she came home from dinner. And I was trying to push it into the garage, and she's like, "Where did that car come from? Where did you get the trailer?" And I'm like, "They're not ours. They're not ours. We're just holding on to it till we get it. It's not.
How did that go over?
About as well as it's going over with y'all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
We
that checks
right
out.
through this shit. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it's a stolen trailer, it's technically not mine, so it's fine.
And
Is that how that works?
it's not stolen, but I can't prove that because he bought it with like Tennessee permanent tags on it and just never, and it came with no other paperwork because it had permanent tags. So who cares? That tag ripped off while they were pulling it to Idaho.
Of course it did.
So I've got
That's
like
what
a
you
nice
tell
little
the
bolt
cop.
with two chunks of license plate on it. And it's fine.
Sure.
Totally
but
legit.
Does
normal
he know what the
normal
tag
height
is?
trailer. Like it will bash your shins, not your chest.
What? Well, it's not a moon trailer. We're surprised and excited by that.
Yeah. Oh my
Because how
God,
would
it's an
you-
I'm
average.
growing.
It's
And
an
what matters
average
is
trailer.
I'm growing. It's a normal trailer. It's not rusty. Wheels don't lock up at 11 o'clock at night and invite suspicious trades. You know,
It
Vicky doesn't
weigh
walk
more
out
than the
and-
things you tow on with it.
yeah, Vicky doesn't walk out and go,
Suspicious
it's so full of jank.
Yeah. The bar has been set so low that anything is basically okay at this point.
Low
Yeah.
or high, depending on if you're talking about the moon trailer, because
Yeah.
that was just tall.
True.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. I'll go next because the rest of us were doing basically the same thing. We went to
Yeah.
Road America in Wisconsin. Aside from that, I've been doing stuff around the new house. I put in a bunch of dimmer switches because why do people not have dimmer switches? I don't understand that. Put in a timer switch, did more work on filling holes. And after we stop the show tonight, I'm going to go put a coat of paint on a room, hopefully. Yeah.
Great. Well, I guess I can go.
Chrissy, go.
We were
Normally,
I was
normally
judging-
you're doing the same things as Chris, but other than
No.
the race, you're
Well,
not.
Pretty much the rate, most of what we did.
Well, other than the race. Oh, look, Stella's here.
Aw.
Yay.
Oh, she's here to chew off the
she's just
computer.
gonna right, or she's gonna chew Tim's face off.
Both.
We were judging you all. This is basically what we're gonna talk about today's show. And I'm back to packing. So all the house stuff that Chris is now ignoring, like I had to mow the lawn and I had to clean up things.
Oh,
and
no, that's not
pack
fair,
things
Chrissy.
and,
He always ignored the lawn.
he did it sometimes.
You guys are gonna have to get a tractor to mow that place where you're moving now.
Ooh.
We already have one.
Came with one. And also, you live in the high desert. It doesn't grow all that fast.
No,
So-
you just
It's
need
kinda
one
like
when you need it.
scrub
Otherwise,
grass,
it's a
kinda.
month-long endeavor to mow it.
Yeah. And it's not like a fantastic tractor, like a Kubota kind of thing. No, it's just but it's a riding mower, whatever. It'll do the job.
Just a riding mower? Or is it like the one that like you can put all the other different attachments on it?
No, it's just a riding mower. It is a consumer grade riding mower, but it'll
Like-
cut the grass.
Yeah,
So,
my grandfather had a riding mower, but it was a tractor that was the size of a riding mower because it had all kinds of different, like it had PTO and you could add stuff to it.
yeah, that'd be great, but it's not. But it
Yeah.
came with the
Well,
house.
it
So,
came with the house, and it was like basically free because we didn't tell them that we were.
You'll put a Harbor Freight motor on it and you'll make it the most dangerous tractor in Colorado. It'll be fantastic.
That's fan-freaking-tastic.
Love
Yes.
it.
Okay. Tim.
Also, mostly judging, but is when I finally got back because my flight was delayed from 7:50 to 9:20 at Milwaukee Airport. I've been closing up the camp, so a bajillion things to do. One of which is split a ton of wood that just got cut down on a tree out in front of our house that had a giant, it's like a split trunk. And one of the trunks was just dying, so we had to cut it down before it fell on the house. So I'm chopping that up with a splitter, and just trying to catch up on my sleep because the flight that I was supposed to go on that left at 7:50 got delayed till 9:20, which put me back in my house at 3:45 a.m., which was awesome. But at least I got to spend the time in the airport not eating or drinking anything because the Milwaukee airport closes all of their food and beverage at 6.
Oh,
6. So I could go to the news shop and buy some
Soda.
more cheese and sausage if I wanted some, which
Yes.
I was done with that. So I found a
Literally
not sketchy at all vending machine that I got a salad out of.
nice. Well, my
Yeah.
side of Milwaukee Airport, they didn't close up until like 7. So I actually had an overpriced chicken Caesar salad and a beer while I watched Formula One. So that was okay.
Let's talk
Alright.
about trips in the main topic time.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
What
Yeah.
that means we're going to talk about what, honey?
What? Right now?
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's time. Yay. Behold, the phantom Ferrari driver, a mystery man who's been tearing up highways in the Czech Republic in Ferrari-style rocket fit for since 2019. Think Tokyo Drift meets Where's Waldo, but with way more speed and less camouflage. After years of evading traffic cops and capture in a single seat, open wheel race car, police finally tracked him down to a village called Bulk, just a short drive from Prague. The suspect, a 51-year-old guy whose face was obscured by a helmet and tinted visor, refused to chat, but his son called the police response disproportionate, which is probably true considering dozens of police cars, a helicopter, a guy full in racing gear just for a speedster in a fancy race car. Now he's staring down at a hefty Czech fine of several thousand Czech crowns and a driving ban. The fine is roughly a couple $100. Drop us a line, Mr. Ferrari man. We know several Lemons teams that would love to have you as driver, and you won't get a ban if you drive with them. For your details, ever sharp listener, the car is actually a Dallara GP2/08, not true F1 ride. But when you're chasing speed, details don't slow you down. There is a link to the New York Post article in our notes.
Well, that's great. Well,
that's great.
If you're going to get pulled over for speeding, it might as well be in an open cockpit.
Seriously, go big or stay home.
That's good.
Yep. Well, Justin Hughes at Jalopnik has this week's edition of Dumb People Doing Dumb Things. So, picture this. A guy in a bright red hoodie, probably trying to be the next superhero, decides it's a good idea to chuck a giant rock at a school zone enforcement van. Because nothing says, I love kids, like assaulting a camera with a boulder the size of a large man's hand. Well, as you can guess, Big Brother was already watching, thanks to, the high-tech police cameras inside the van. They caught him in the act faster than you can say attempted assault. Turns out, Dylan Roker not only had a warrant for his misdemeanor fame, but now he's also got a $2,600 damage bill and a busy police record, all thanks to a red hoodie that's so bright, it basically a look at me sign for trouble. Moral of the story? Cameras are everywhere. Even if you're trying to hijack a van's Instagram story, you might just end up staring at your own police highlight reel. So maybe think twice before throwing rocks, especially when you're wearing the fashion equivalent of a flashing neon sign that says, caught on camera.
Hey.
But we knew since the current Pope is from Chicago that it was going to be a bit different, and we haven't been disappointed. While there's no malort at a communion mass, though that would help for confession, three shots is really going to help you keep you from recommitting any sin. But occasionally, Lemons judge Jason Torchinsky, and he's telling us about the Pope cycle. BMW recently released a picture of the Holy Father astride a new BMW R18 Transcontinental, a touring bagger like a Harley or a Goldwing. The German BMW motorcycle dealer Witzel and Thomas Draxler, founder of Jesus-Biker, custom painted the ecclesiastical white motorcycle, added the Vatican coat of arms before presenting it to the Pope. The bike,
or the Poke.
Pope bike will be auctioned off next month for charity, helping children working in mica mines in Madagascar. Very specific.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
I thought it was fun. Yeah.
Carry a lot of mica in those bags on the side of that.
I bet you could carry a lot of holy water in those bags and just do the whole mass, fling it out there kind of as you're rolling down, boom.
Let's see Vatican handshake. Not Malort in the old style.
Oh, we might go to hell for that joke, but then again, we might get away with it. Yeah. The Vatican handshake. Oh, good one.
You should totally sponsor us.
Brandy followed by a cheap Chianti. That's it.
The Vatican should totally sponsor us, or Malort?
Malort should make that drink is really what the answer is.
It's a shame it's a 24-hour race, because that might be a post-race penalty that we cook up some other time. All right, buddy, it's Vatican handshake for you. You're going to do this Malort and a shot of Lambrusco.
That's not good.
Oh, racingjunk.com. Now, naturally, my activities this weekend had me looking at land speed cars, but those things are expensive. But I did, however, come across this delightful nest of opportunity and possibility. These are F-100 winged fighter tanks. The F-100, it was a interim fighter in the early 60s, did some time in Vietnam, was the original Wild Weasel. But the idea behind it is you get these belly tank and tank dragsters, roadsters. And this all started like right after World War II, and the guys were building them out of tanks, and you just throw a big honking engine in there. And this is what one could look like. These are in their original packing drum, so they're unused, new old stock fighter tanks. Sellers out of Wadsworth, Ohio. He sprung for the real ad because there are 5 photos, but what he doesn't have is a price. Why? Because he is looking for interesting trades or make him an offer. He even included a picture that we are looking at right now, if you're on the YouTube, of what a belly tank roadster looks like and what one of these would look like. The tanks are 18 to 21 and then 25 feet long, and they are 36 inches in diameter, which just goes to prove that, yeah, it's a car. No. But is it joy scrolling? Yes. And that's what you should be doing on racingjunk.com. It just makes you happy.
Yet another interesting way to die.
Interesting way to
Fascinating
die.
way to die. Yes.
You're gonna die, and you're gonna look cool for a second before you die.
And when you die, tell him you found it on racingjunk.com.
So he went out in a fighter jet ish.
Little log
Exactly.
type
Yes. Yeah.
thing. Yes.
He was killed. Could you
Okay.
say you were killed by a tank? I mean, there's so many ways to twist this story.
You could, if whether it's
you know what's
real
interesting?
or-
There's
who cares?
no way to sound like not like. There's no way you die and don't sound like a badass.
Yeah.
Everybody be like, duh. Okay, it's a good time.
Planes this weekend, 80 entries.
We won't be there.
Of prep. No, well, I know. Lots of prep for Hoopties. There's double AMCs, double engine Focus, EV Datsun PT Cruiser, Fiero, Metro, Malibu, lots of Volvos of various persuasions and engines. Have fun, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I was going to be there. That EV Datsun.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
I found out who
an hour
got
and
your.
a half.
I just found out who got your seat, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's going to be tight. I mean, no, it's a shame you're not there, but it's not like they found a loser.
Yep.
So for those, we're talking about Pantless Matt.
Keeping it in the family.
Exactly. And it's not like he doesn't know about EV engineering too. So yeah.
Yeah, they were like, oh, so we traded in a guy is named after wood to an electrical engineer in our
doesn't
EV
wear pants.
Datsun.
Totally fine.
Who doesn't
Totally
wear
fine.
pants?
Who doesn't wear
Straight up.
pants?
Yeah, that's a score right there. You're
Depends
welcome.
on the team and what they like.
There. Well, Lucky Dog will be at the Ridge for the Dog Fest. There are 68 cars, 18 BMWs, 11 Miatas. Not terrible. Not terrible.
That's better than usual.
Yep. 6
Right?
Hondas / Acuras, 5 Porsches, including a 931.
Ooh.
That's what
What
it
the what?
said. I don't
I think
know.
that's a
What?
920. I think it's a 924 turbo in Porsche geek speed. Like a 944 turbo is a 951.
It is.
Why
It is.
I
It is the
added
924 turbo. That's pretty dope.
That is.
They
That'll be
said.
cool. This is going to look great on jack stands.
Absolutely. Yeah. Seriously.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
also
I hope
a
they get all their photos
74.
before the race starts because it's a good looking car too. Yeah.
Yeah. Photos early.
Yeah.
That is a pro tip.
And we're not making fun of you guys if you're listening because I am totally a Porsche file and I am down
No.
with that.
No, I like hats off, but just know what you should expect.
I feel like if you even know what if you know it enough to call it a 931, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eyes wide open. There's also a 74 260Z, a
Mhm.
Ford Probe, a Sentra, and a Toyota Matrix.
That's some good Lucky Dog field right there. I'm
Welcome
not
to the
surprised.
Matrix.
Pac Pacific Northwest. That's pretty dope.
Those guys do it right.
They do. All right.
Yep.
I had recent results, but are we going to kick those to the main topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Thank
means
It's
it's
listener
time
feedback time. Listener feedback time. Posted a throwback picture broadcasting from the Cape a long time ago. And Charlie P said you should find a swing arm setup that'll hold your table as a boom mic that can plug into your what? He's explaining the setup that I'm currently using. Hands-free podcasting. The picture that we posted was from the first day, and we were like, I think I had wired headphones into an iPad. We were like just talking. So thanks, Charlie P. It was a throwback. We have our setup now, ish, maybe sort of.
There's an entire discussion if you guys are going to have a podcasting office in the new house. So.
Oh, well, and it's funny because the start of this podcast right now was all about me trying to figure out how to use said Chris's mic arm setup and not making it work very well. So timing was great.
So at the Salt, I posted a land speed Vespa. There were actually 2 of them. They were amazing. Phil Mingus replied, racing in the Salt in a 5,000 plus pound car was sketchy enough. This is next level. You're not kidding. Now, Doug asked, is Vespa part of the record or can any moped type vehicle qualify? The challenge that these guys were having is they were trying to get in the 130 club because the rules do not allow 10-inch tires, which is the only thing that those Vespas can run. One guy got his he was trying to get to 100, and I know he got to like 93 before we left, and the other one also got into the 90s. So both of these Vespas got into the 90s. It will surprise no one to learn, and it didn't surprise me when I learned it, but it was still pretty cool. They're both friends of Judge Phil's. They're from Denver, and they're like, oh, you do lemons? Yeah, we know Phil. Of course you do. Because Phil knows all the interesting people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. David Eckel said, Arrow? We don't need no stinking Arrow. And Dana H said, I've had my Taiwanese Buddy 50 over 50 miles an hour. It's the ultimate slow car fast, riding a 30 mile an hour scooter to 50 miles an hour. It feels like you're taking your Honda Accord to 140. And Phil M wants a video and included their Bonneville run in, a Bonneville.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yep.
Tom Buswell said, Mike, with a 1600 would go 100. I don't think getting to 130 would be too difficult, but I've never run on salt. Losing traction at high speed might be the issue. The rear probably gets light at speed. Greg O'Brien said, I'm eager to live vicariously through you. He mentioned making it to Bonneville once and including a pick. He talked about the bummer of the Maxton Mile in North Carolina being shut down, but added that it led him to lemons. Cloning with, I'm okay that it's probably not for me, but I'm so glad Bonneville carries on. Stay safe. Mental also posted a selfie on the Salt. Mm-hmm. Brad Brunell said, yes, love Bonneville.
Hanson Motorsport asked if he was trying for the 130, 130 miles an hour, adding, was fortunate enough to run an average of 135 last year in my boring BMW. Very cool. Tim posted his packed bag as we were prepped for Road America. More on that in a second. TJ14 shared a pic of CNC, saying this is the last time I was at Road America with CNC. That was us, Chris or I on track with Mercedes. And on Facebook, Charlie added, I wish I was going along. I would love to watch that race for a weekend.
On the gram, Ron said, I'm on my way. Please don't eat all the cheese curds before I get there. And frankly, Ron, there is no way anyone could possibly eat all of the cheese we got this weekend.
No, we tried.
We tried.
We had cheese breaks at the hour right now.
Didn't even come close.
Yep.
Cheese break.
Cheese alarm said, oh, I bet you have some interesting penalties cooked up. Yes, we did. We also posted a video of the sausage party penalty from the track. This one actually originated from I don't know. There's a video here, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah. It's a slow-mo catching the video.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later about our fun penalties.
Yep.
EU Tech Coach 20% effort. And I have no idea what that means. Oh, from these guys. Ninja Rocky said it's all in the hips, and that is true in doing the soft
Yes.
spiral penalty. Yes.
Quite.
Yes,
Anyway.
very much so.
Oh well.
It's,
You know
it's
who
a young
usually
man's penalty.
That's who usually doesn't swing a sausage from a string tied to their waist.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
and why would she?
Yep. Not
Okay.
getting penalties.
No,
No.
just things to make to get penalties.
Yes. Hello, Chrissy's mom.
Hello.
Hi, Chrissy, mom.
We're gonna spend time. Okay, we've been talking a lot about this race and what we did and how it went. Yeah, so let's talk about travel. You guys arrived in style early, having a great time. Beer, sausage. How was your
Yeah.
travel?
Well, Tim got there first. You got how'd that go, Tim? Before I met you.
Yeah, it was super easy. Got in, got my rental car, and kind of waited in the parking lot of the cell phone variety, waiting for Chris to land. Was probably there for, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes until I got the call that he was on the ground. The Eagle has landed, and went and scooped him up. It's super small, easy airport. So, piece of cake.
Yep.
And then what did we do, Chris?
We headed to Walmart, where we acquired a few items and were disappointed at their potluck plate selection, and also got some fun penalty things. Like we got some 48-piece kid puzzles that were good. We got some template material for bribe stencils. What else did we get? Some food,
some
food
chalk.
and drink, chalk.
Yep. We got some yarn.
String. Yeah.
Yeah. For the sausage.
Which I did finally manage to get that video to actually work. So
We'll talk about penalties in a second. Hold that.
Okay, fair enough. I'll do it right
it's
here at the
going.
moment of
It's going
disappointment.
and it's slow mo.
I think it was probably clipping too, so that you didn't have anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Then we went to Costco, got all the potluck necessities and some
gloves, a jacket.
Yep. And we got a bunch of eggs and bacon and croissants so we could have breakfast, and a few beverages while there. And I went across the street to a brewery, and this place was so Wisconsin. And our lunch, we split fried cheese curds and a sausage platter, and had a couple beers while there.
With schnitzel. It was so good.
And sauerkraut.
Yeah.
It was everything.
So good.
All right, so that was all day Thursday. You guys hung out and sent me pictures of how great the travel was.
Then we went to the track and we helped them with load in and looked at people's stuff and helped get people parked. And then we went back to the Airbnb and played the 80s video game console while drinking old fashions. It was a lovely day.
Lovely day.
We did not drink the entire bottle of old fashions, by the way.
Yeah.
Just most of
I
it.
got some the next night. Yeah. Most of it. Yeah, right? You left one sip in there. I was like, you guys kept showing me the bottle, like, look what I got. This is great.
Nobody wants to finish the last of the milk.
All right. So I did not have nearly the successful travel that these gentlemen did. I had a 3:30 flight direct out of Philly to Milwaukee. I went to the airport at 1:30. I sat around. I was like, oh, this is all good. I had, worked and whatever. Got on the plane and I got on the plane. There were some storms coming through, pretty bad storms, and they were coming from the west. So at some point, they said no planes are taking off unless you're going straight north or straight south because of these storms. And we were in a tiny plane. I was in a 2x2. So it was like, all right, fine. I don't really want to just go and try to go through these storms in this little plane. So we wait for an hour plus. And then they said, deplane. They said, okay, we're just going to go back. And they said, it's an indefinite, not sure when we're going to leave, if we're going to leave. Then everybody's hopeful, blah, blah, blah. So I take her bag, and I assume that I will. So I was supposed to also meet one of my friends for a drink in Milwaukee because I was like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to stop and see her. I have to cancel with her. And then I get off the plane and I say, you know what, let me grab dinner because I have no idea when we're going to get on the plane. So I go so we're at the gate, and there's like a Hudson News, and then there's dinner. So I get dinner and I'm refreshing the app. I'm an American, so I'm an American, and emails are usually pretty good. Communication at American is pretty good. So I keep refreshing. I'm sitting at the table with other people on my flight. Keep refreshing. It's storming outside.
Table's probably a little
hope
bigger than the airplane. Probably has greater seating capacity.
Maybe, yes. Yeah, probably exactly the amount of people that were on my plane. So we're kind of like looking for, don't see any updates. And so finally I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go over and check. Actually, I saw it went from delayed to like, I think it might have said departed. So I go over to the gate and say, I'm here for the Milwaukee flight. They're like, nope, it's gone. I'm watching it. I watch it drive away. I can see it. And they're like, we called you. We were telling you not to leave. We said, just stand right here. It's going to be half an hour. I said, that is not anything of what people said. They said indefinite. They said they're not sure when it's going to leave. And they were like, yeah, can't do anything. Like literally the plane is driving away and I can watch it. So of course I call Chris in a tizzy. Cause at this point it's 8:00, maybe Philly time, 7:00 ish. 7:00. Cause that's when I looked at my phone. And so I had been in the airport for how many hours? And of course, the problem is it was a one-way flight. It was a little flight, regional flight. So there's only one per day. So I can only go. I said, when's the next flight to Milwaukee? They're like 3:00 Friday. That was my only option. I couldn't go again. So I said, well, that's not an option. I have to be at work over there. So I say Chicago is my only other option. So I have to go home, drive home in the rainstorm, go back to bed, and then show up to Chicago the next morning, or the Philly airport to go to Chicago. Chicago is 2+ hours away from the track. So to continue the story, so I go to bed, and then I wake up, and then I realize that I had made my rental from it's a 2-way to Chicago. My flight yesterday on Monday was to Milwaukee. So I said, hey, National, I would like to, I have it from Chicago to Chicago. I needed to go from Chicago to Milwaukee. And everybody was like, no. And I was like, so I need it because I can't do that. I have to go. My flight is from Milwaukee and I'm not going to change my flight. And they said, no. And so I called Chris again and I was like, I'm not really sure what to do now. So I can't have a car. I can't Uber it because everything's hours away from each other. So finally Chris says, fine. No, he said very nicely, I'm going to get in the car and drive to you because in Chicago. So he graciously picked me up in Chicago. By the time I told him when he picked me up as a sad, homely kid looking at the end of the row is somebody that you could pick up. So my travel was not great getting there. And then everything else was awesome after that. Thanks for listening.
I'm so sorry. Boo.
It was a rough
such a
start
mess.
for our girl. It was a rough start.
I was so sad and I was hungry and tired. And of course after missing a plane, I didn't sleep because I was just afraid I was going to miss the next plane. And I was there like 2.5 hours early just because I didn't want to miss another plane. So I beat myself on that one.
Good on you, Chris. Looks like you put in 3 hours to do that round trip?
No, it's going more
4 hours after drinking most of an old-fashioned bottle?
No. This was Saturday. This was Friday morning. I mean, maybe he did, but Friday morning, yes.
Yeah.
And Chris
the night before he drank most of an old-fashioned bottle.
Yeah. Hours after he finished his last
old-fashioned. Chris was absolutely not remotely intoxicated. I'm insinuating he was hungover.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know, but Chris is on mute, so if he's talking, we can't hear him anyway.
I was feeling just fine. And I have to say, the rental car Hyundai Palisade was a pretty comfortable place to spend time with decent lane keeping, cruise control, and got a surprising 28 miles per gallon on that round trip from rear there to Chicago.
And the Palisade's the big 3-row, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was nice.
Surprising.
Yeah. All right.
I appreciate
Monday. We're looking
it.
for we're looking for a sponsorship. Talk to us.
It was very nice. So we were finally there, and nothing was really going on Friday because it was all waiting for the parade. So,
well, there was a lot going on. The tech line was
correct,
like the length of the state of Wisconsin. Yeah.
I
So
think it
Was it because they were
extended
moving
into Chicago.
Was it because they were moving slower because nobody read their email?
they were going slow. They only had 2 tech people. They normally have 3 or maybe even 4.
Yeah.
And there were more than a handful of new builds that they had to go through, which always take more time.
Always.
So it was unfortunate. There were some teams that spent too much time in line and not enough time doing testing. But you know what? You didn't blow up, so you can thank us for that.
Yep.
That just happened. So bam, suck it.
Oof, I don't know about that. It was some people were like really not happy.
Not happy. Understandably not happy. Yeah. I think that the easy button is starting at 9 instead of 11 on tech.
Agreed.
And maybe some more people. I know that's the discussion.
It's just hard. It's hard to get. I mean, they don't have that many people that can do tech.
Yeah, and I know like at the Pacific race, he was deputizing 2 more people. So yeah, there is effort being placed in that arena.
Yeah, there was another guy training there as well. So which almost is worse because it takes longer to explain things. So painful now, easier later. You got to put in your dues.
Absolutely.
Right. Then we went to the parade. Well, we went
we went early. The 4 judges, so it's me and Tim and Chrissy and Randy, all went into town thinking we would go to Siebken's and have a beer and pre-check all the cars based on Eric's notes and our knowledge. Well, turns out it was 3:00 for the parade at 5. We thought this was great timing to do this. Siebken's didn't open until 4. The Tiki Bar that said it was open closed. Another place we went closed. Eventually, we walked up north to a cafe more on the main street. That place was open, very nice, and we had a delightful giant bowl of homemade chips and some beverages while we pre-checked everything.
It was like
a huge bowl of
chips. Trough of
it was large movie popcorn sized bowl of chips.
Except we finished them, so it's fine.
We put a hurt on those chips.
It's fine. Then we
went to Siebken's, and then we had beer at Siebken's and whatnot, and had some cheese curds, and people started to trickle in, which was good because then we had to get ready to go for the Judge-a-Palooza couple hours that we had as the parade in Elkhart Lake. So people started to pull in. We split up into 2 teams. It was me and Randy on one side and Chrissy and Tim on the other, and we raced, and it was a good time. Why don't you tell us about how things were?
The weather,
did you get your wagons?
Gorgeous too.
Your bribe wagons?
Gorgeous.
Got our wagons. Yeah,
the weather was gorgeous, but it was very much not what Accu-Mental said. Accu-Mental was way off.
Not sure what Accu-Mental was talking about.
It was about 15 degrees colder the entire weekend than what Accu-Mental told us. And people died
very windy.
Mental said it was going to be in the 70s, and I said, "Well, Mental was wrong." So
very
you listen to a guy who lived in the desert. I read that stuff off the interwebs.
When you do,
Elkhart Lake, Arizona.
No, so we were joking about that there was so you picked another town that was not.
Oh, Elkhart with an L.
No,
I thought it was Eckhart.
Arizona. Yeah, God, no wonder it wasn't 104. Suckers.
Yeah. Chris when you guys were shopping for clothes, Chris is like, "What kind of clothes do you have? Because we need to make sure that you have clothes." Anyway, so we went through.
I'm gonna go
judging.
take the weather out of the HPR predictions.
Or just make sure they're right.
Mine's from a different place, apparently.
I can't make sure they're right. I don't know nothing about. I can read a NOTAM. I can read a METAR, but I don't predict the weather, man. I use an app on a phone like everybody else.
Okay, so We so what there was 145 cars ish, pretty close to that. And so there were actually plenty of them. Shame on you if hopefully you're not listeners that didn't go. They were just like, yeah, we're really tired. We're not going to go to the parade. And that did not go over well with Kim and the folk. So I don't know.
Because it's not just about you. It's about a relationship with that community. That's the same thing in South Carolina. You know, yeah, they're looking forward to seeing your dumb car. Come on, man.
There are a lot of town folk there that were there too.
Yes,
it was cool. It was really cool to see.
That was
so
my
much
favorite part of that race.
Yeah.
Was everybody lining the streets and coming and talking about cars and everything. It was wonderful.
It's funny
I love how much everybody embraces the racetrack and the racing history of that area. It's such a cool feel to that whole town.
Boo on you if you didn't.
I definitely had
like going to the parade.
I had a couple, a man and woman, stop me and say, "What is going on? What is this?" I was like, "Okay, back up." So
that's hard to explain.
Right. Well, and I'm in the mid. This is like I'm 5 cars in at judging. So I'm we're still and we're trying to go fast. So there's I was like, okay. So the quick story: we go with rights and lefts, and we're endurance racing, and we're at the track, and then we're not, and this is where the cars are, and they're like, do you do this and this and whatever. So funny when the town folk show up and say, I noticed you're doing something. Can you tell me what is happening here? Yes.
Not to derail the story. We
So
in Kent, Washington, and we're all wearing our staff shirts in the hotel lobby, and we're getting ready to go to the track. And this lady comes up, and the staff shirts, this is my circus. These are our monkeys. And she's like, these words on the back of your shirt, what do they mean? I'm like, well, and I'm just trying to, where do I start from someone who has no frame of reference? I'm like, well, we work a racing series, and we kind of try to emphasize a sense of community and responsibility. She goes, oh, okay. So it's not mean. It's something nice. I'm like, yes. She goes, okay, good. And that's all she wanted to make sure is that we weren't just like some sort of protest group walking around taunting somebody, which is a sad statement on our society.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, we had.
So we were going. Oh, go
ahead.
No, I was just going to talk about the parade. We were trying to go fast because we had 145 cars. So there's 70 and 70. And so that means no time for dawdling. How was your experience on your side of the track? Side of the street?
It was medium. It was fine. Like we were moving along pretty well. And so we did feel a little badly. We didn't get to spend as much time with teams as we might have liked to. And we apologized for that at the drivers' meeting on Saturday morning, just because we have so many cars to get done and a limited window to do so, especially before it gets dark, that we just had to move through some stuff. So if we didn't take as much time as you might have liked to hear your story, sorry, we just had a limited schedule. So there are some cars where we'll take a few minutes if they've got something interesting. Other ones I said, sorry, it's an E36. Here's your A. Have a good day.
Yeah, done. Moving on. Yeah,
that was about it.
I had the whole presentation when we did the 302 thing. You're like, yeah, I got stuff to do. Moving on.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, and then the problem is that sometimes it took us a long time. They had no idea. So there's plenty of cars that you'd walk up to and say, who owns this car? And everybody's like, not me. I'm like, okay, do you have a tech sheet? Because I know what the answer is, especially if you're not around. But to their problem, they're waiting for hours for us to get there. So we started at 5 and ended at what, 7:30?
I found the tech sheet in the car.
Right.
7:45.
Right. So if you were the last cars in, you waited 2.5 hours for us to get there. So that's why it's like, it was hard. It was difficult for everybody because you couldn't really party. You didn't know where we were. We were, we were.
Well, you were wearing judges' robes, right?
Yes.
Yes.
How did they not? Come on.
Oh, it was
a little situation.
They could find us if they wanted. Yeah. We were a spectacle for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we had our wagons full of our bribe stuff and our theming stuff. And this other staff would come trade the wagons out periodically to take the bribes back. We got tons of beer, especially spotted cow.
Spotted cow.
I think they bought out every spotted cow.
All of it. All of it. There was one team that was like, we drove to 6 different gas stations and they were all out of spotted cow. That's because they were all in our wagon.
It's amazing how much just that one kind was what everybody gave.
It's
That's pretty
good,
dope, though.
but it was
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
We got plenty of cheese and cheese curds, so much cheese. The Oldsmobile Cutlass team makes their own sausages and brats, and that stuff is delicious. I was not in their line. That was on your side, you guys. And I ran across there to take some sausages from them for Randy because it's so good. So,
Proper.
one of the best bribes that we got over the weekend was from the Grimace Racing team. They do a McDonald's Grimace team with their Mazda 2. They had bought from some crackhead on Facebook Marketplace an actual Happy Meals display from inside of McDonald's that some crackhead had stolen. And they had made up a drawing inside of Dale, simply saying "Happy Birthday, Dale," with like a cartoon drawing of Dale with needles up, and with Eric and Kim, and they had a whole bunch of Matchbox cars painted like actual Lemons cars in this display. It was phenomenal.
That sounds so
like a
friggin'
giant display, like
Yeah, like-
5.5 feet tall. Yeah,
Like the big one when you walk in and you see what kind of toys they're giving.
cool. Well done.
it was really well done.
We'll get more to them in a little bit.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
But that was, I think, the highlight of the bribes that we saw on my side of the row, at least. It had a couple people that got a little arguey. I mean, really, if you're going to argue about being an A when you have an LS swap, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You chose to have a cheaty muscle car with an LS. You're not going in B. I'm sorry if you've been in B before. You're not going in B. Sorry. Have a nice day.
I'm
Who
sorry,
put an
Father,
LS
for I have
anything in
sinned.
B? And please don't tell me it was me.
Who knows?
I put something in B that I shouldn't have, but we'll get there.
I did put one LS in B, but they are so hopeless. And
and I think they come by later and they were like, "Look how we messed up. We obviously didn't get very far."
Right.
Yeah.
They're so hopeless. Like, it doesn't matter what class they put you in. It's fine.
That's always one of those fun conversations because everybody comes, "Why'd you put the cheaty car in there?" Wait a minute. Oh, there's the rollback. See who's on that one? Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the turbo all-wheel drive Eagle Talon.
Oh.
Put that in C right away. I'm like, well, this.
Oh yeah, that one's not going to
go.
finish. No.
Exactly.
No. Normally aspirated automatic. We're going to have a conversation, but yeah, turbo all-wheel drive. You're going right in C.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right into.
How are things on your side of the road, guys? Have people arguing with you much, or they all right?
I left all the arguing to Tim.
Yeah.
I did the easy ones. I walked around and said, "This one, good, done." And then every once in a while, they get either a yelly or try to bend my arm or something or questionable. So, because when we go through, I think it is a couple of people had asked me. I just wanted to give a quick thing of like, we have all these papers and the papers have a lot of information about each of the cars. And I think racers don't realize that we have this information. So I figured
we talked about it in our judging, what's it like to be a judge episode a few weeks back. I guess they did.
Yes, okay. Well, if people learned about everyone racers at the race because we stickered like
so many cars.
Maybe we have some new listeners, and with the listeners, we do have these papers, and the papers.
Now it's not just me. Thank you.
And sometimes we get, we have questions depending on what the car actually looks like, what the line item says, and then what the car actually has in it, and how it is prepared, what it looks like, and the team. That information is different. So those are the ones that I left for Tim.
I did overrule you on one car.
And that's fine. And it was worth it.
And it wasn't wrong. It was a Volkswagen Golf, and it had the ride height of a CRV. It had the rust of a 70s pickup truck from the Northeast. And I looked under the back of the car, and they literally had footballs stuffed into the coil springs and the rear end to try to help with the bump stop problem. And so later on, they were joking about they had to change the PSI in the footballs to try to adjust their suspension.
There's a picture of
Oh my God, that is so. Oh,
Chrissy.
Chrissy's got the pictures. This is so great because I've seen
it's pretty great.
One of the cheaty things, not cheaty things. I'm sorry. One of the efficient things a lot of experienced teams will do is they'll write the torque specs and the air pressures on the fenders of the car. So you know in a rush what you're doing. I would love to see an addition football PSI.
Pigskin 12. Hankook 31.
That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Rookie team, they
Yeah, but-
were a lot of fun. They were hysterical, those guys.
And then we never, ever saw them all weekend. That thing just kept going around and around and around on their 500 treadwear tires. And we never, ever saw them.
Stop trying to go fast.
Oh no, I don't
No.
think so. I think
No.
just to stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Okay. Then a race happened.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Saturday, we did our driver's meeting. Tim did a nice job as MC. That was fine. We did a rookie meeting. Had not a huge number of rookies, but it was enough, and I asked reasonable questions. And then we got everybody up on track, and I did my usual look for cheaty tires, and I found none. Good on you, folks. No
Right?
cheaty tires.
Because
Oh, they did find
Wisconsin's
one car.
awesome. Nice.
Yeah, I saw one car though that had changed their wheels and tires from the night before, and they front wheels stuck out significantly from the bodywork, like by a couple inches. So I took a couple pictures of that, went and talked to Dale later, and he's like, yeah, that wasn't that way yesterday. And we brought that car in, and they changed their tires to one that do fit under the bodywork to pass tech.
And,
That was the
and
only
that's a
thing that was
safety
noticeable.
issue because
Yeah.
that's how Tim lost a car.
Yep.
Yeah, we got everybody out. Randy stayed back to do things at HQ, and we had a few people we had to tech and judge in the morning because I'm too tired to go to the parade.
There were a handful, and they said, like, I have 2 cars. One of my cars is broken. Here is my husband working on said car. Like, I had somebody show me a video of like his sad face because he's working on the car. They're like, this one's why this car didn't come. And I was like, fine. Okay.
And one team was like, yeah, our kid got really sick last night, like with diarrhea. It was
No,
bad.
they said the kid
We're
got
like,
sick, and we were all
okay.
like, whatever. And they're
No,
like,
he
and then they
goes-
started.
He goes, well, we were like, so why didn't you come to the parade? He goes, well, we all have small children. And we're like,
That's what this started.
That's
Yep.
kind of lame. And he was like, and they had diarrhea. And we were like, okay.
You're good. You're excused. Here you go. What class? I'm going to
That's
give you
how
some
they
positive
started.
laps just because I feel bad.
Yeah, that happened. All right, so Saturday we got people on track. The penalty was busy. We were busy. It was
a
there were-
steady stream, but like never overwhelming, but definitely a steady stream.
yeah. Well, there were times where we 4 of us were working on different. What was that? What's this?
Passing
That-
under yellow.
I didn't see anything there.
So much-
I didn't see
so much
anything.
passing under
That's
yellow.
what most people said that I didn't see that yellow square. No, what
Weird.
yellow square? I don't know what you're talking about. Or I did not pass on yellow. I said, well, if
Yeah.
you had seen the yellow flag, you wouldn't have done it. But
We
she
had
did.
each one of us had the same speech because we did it so much. They were like, "Yeah, I didn't do it," and I'm like, or they're like, "Why am I here?" And they're like, "We said if you don't know what you did, there's usually one thing that you did," and they're like, "We're gonna say pass on relay." They're like, "I didn't see yellow." You're
Like, I know you
Right.
And
I was weird.
Yeah.
Had you passed knowingly under yellow,
I was
that
like,
would
"Did you
be-
see a
that
car
would be
out there?"
dumb.
And they're like, "Well, yeah." And they were never the consistent. So it was never a consistent corner. So it wasn't like we knew that, number 2 was always the problem.
Yeah,
It was
occasionally
all-
you get a bad flagger. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we did not.
Yeah.
Our flaggers were great. We didn't have any of those problems. It was the people. And, I do think that, at least from my experience, consistently, they were flagging people that if you were passing and you either just saw the yellow or you're coming up to the yellow and because I had a couple people that said, look, I was passing and then I stayed back or I braked and then I still got flagged for it. And I was like, that's how it works. So, but that was a consistent thing.
Yep.
So it might've been just the timing of how the flaggers were calling it the pass under yellow.
And I've said this 100 times. If somebody passes you under yellow and then they try to give it back, never let them. That's their problem. They can go deal with the judges because invariably that's when the flagger looks up is when you're giving the space back. Nope. So You made that mistake. That's not my problem, Bob.
Yeah, the second guy on the field that takes the swing or pushes the other guys, he's the one that gets the flag, right?
Yeah. As soon as someone goes by me under yellow, I just pull in right behind them so they can't do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh well. We did get a couple repeat customers though. We had
did we ever?
several people at 3. And the first one we got the 3, we said, "Oh, I think you need to do this puzzle." So we gave them one of those 48-piece puzzles, sat them down at the table in full race gear, including their gloves, and said, "Here, driver, you have to put this puzzle together, and your team can't help you except moral support." So
it was amazing. Every time it happened, it was so good.
Yeah.
The first ones had a large team. There were like 8 people.
Was that 50?
Pointing and yelling. No, that one. There's an end piece. There's an end. So the guy's just being bombarded with all of this noise in his helmet.
And he was, I think he was colorblind. So
he was.
He was trying to do the puzzle. And you couldn't say like that blue one over there because he didn't know.
And the table, it was a wood table, and it's one of those that has the aluminum like ring around the outside. So there was a little tiny lip, so he couldn't slide the piece off the table. It would hit the edge of the table. So he's like using 2 hands to try to like peel it off of the table.
Who knew? It was so good. Yeah.
Until his team figured out, "Oh, hang on, I have a roll of tape in my pocket," and they gave him a ring of electrical tape around one of his fingers so he can push his finger down.
He like zipped
that is a lemon solution. That's
amazing. It's so good. Wow.
I will implement that penalty, and I will know who our listeners are.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's still freaking hard. So I think those went to the box in the box.
They did.
Yeah, there should be in the box.
Penalty box. Yeah. So that was one of the things we did for third and fourth penalties for some people. One, and then Tim, you had an idea coming into this for a penalty. Let's hear a little more about that.
And the irony of it. So I saw a video one time on whatever Reels, TikTok, and it's, you take a hot dog and you tie it on a string and you tie it around your waist, and you have to like get your hips going to swing the hot dog between your legs.
Bachelorette thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to swing it up in the air and try to catch it in your mouth. So here's me demonstrating how it works. And you got to get it up there. No.
Well played.
So we buy like a Costco size thing of hot dogs and some yarn to do this. But little did we know, one team bribed us with 2 sausage games where it's actual plastic sausages with a belt, and then you have like little hot dog rolls, and there was a thing, and you had multiple games you could play with it, where you had a team ketchup and team mustard, and you could play like slalom, where you had to swing the sausages to bat the little ball around like through the slalom course, which I really wanted to do, but unfortunately it was so windy the ball kept blowing all over the place. So we just reverted back to the basic swing the sausage and catch it in your mouth.
I don't even know that we were actually successful, were we? That one video that you had, we had 2 kids trying to do it at the same time. I think it kept bouncing off his face.
It just kept bouncing off their face.
Because it was vertical. The sausage was vertical. It needed to be horizontal to have them a chance to catch it in their mouth.
I'm pretty sure the idea.
Could try every time.
Yeah. They should have turned their head at least.
I'm impressed with the hip rotation he's got on.
It's so great. Really nice. Oh, boo, off the face. and then the one of the media guys, I think it was Stobbs, got it. When we used the real hot dog, the kid this team was great. So they had a young kid and his dad, and then 2 other guys on the team, and they racked up 3 penalties pretty quick on Sunday. And I said, all right, you guys have a spin, and a pass under yellow. Who got what? And the dad was like, I got one of the spins, but it was in that area with that the car oiled down the track, and you guys gave me a hall pass on that. And I said, okay, all right, you're gonna get a hall pass. What about the other ones? And one kid raised his hand, and he had both of the other ones. And I said, all right, here's what we're gonna do. You two guys can figure out that didn't get any penalties. You figure out who wants to get back in the car and go away. Dad, you have to cook us 36 hot dogs because we're starving. And the son, well, actually 35 hot dogs. Give me one of those. The son, I tied it on onto the string and put it around his waist and had him swing it back and forth. And he did it for 10 minutes to the point the piece of yarn cut through the hot dog. And as he was swinging it up, it shot out at like 20 miles an hour as a projectile across the paddock. And the little tiny piece went up and just hit him in the chest. Boop. So Stops has got a great video of that, just seeing this hot dog shoot out like a projectile. So we let him go after that.
Oh, it's really good. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was funny. The people, the spectators that went around to watch people do this over and over was so good.
Yeah. I had a team do the typical time to the roof of the car theme, but they had missed so many yellow flags. I said, okay.
There's a twist. There was a twist.
So you have to go make a yellow flag, and then we're going to put you on the car and go around with the megaphone saying what you did wrong. And they did.
No,
they made the yellow
you needed
flag.
us to make a song.
Oh, yes, we made it. We had to come up with something to say. And what the group effort coming up with what to say was, hello, guys. I'm a smart fellow. I just learned this flag is yellow. Go over from the back, repeating again and again, and up and down all the rows. And they did.
Road America is not a small paddock.
No.
There's like,
we don't know
there's
how
like levels and like
there are
like suburbs, and you have to like commute to the different paddock areas.
different zip codes.
Yes. Upper town, lower town, grass town. Yep. Yeah, there are. So Sunday was quieter, which was good. We had a couple of repeat offenders, but a lot less people on Sunday. No drivers meeting. So I think Sunday was a little bit calmer.
Yep.
You want to talk about winners?
Well, how was the potluck, Chrissy?
Potluck was great. Oh, thank you. Potluck was awesome. So thank you. I had really great helpers, which was awesome. And some people were saying it was like the best ever, which I think is amazing. It really helped that we had a team that was parked right outside of us, and they did a seafood boil, which you're like, wow, seafood boil in the middle of Wisconsin is interesting. It was delicious, and it was huge, and they made so much. So people did not go hungry. It was a pretty good wide amount of things. We had plenty of desserts, but not too much. We had some salads, lots of meat. It was good. And I think most people ate,
good balance. Right? Yeah.
I don't think we ran out before. Seafood boil definitely helped. So it was great. Lots of people participated. A lot of people were very nice and thankful. So thank you. I forgot about that. A little bit of confusion on the timing, so I apologize for that. Typically Lemons likes to have it right an hour afterwards. But I stick to my timing of 6:30 drop, 7 o'clock eat. But that's not what they had planned. So,
and we got good feedback on that. People appreciated having a moment to, get out of the car, look it over a little bit, get cleaned up, get the food together. Like they actually liked having a little extra time. But it was
and Checker was at what time?
5.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good to know.
So,
good to know. So it gives them 90 minutes to get their crap to the table. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that worked out pretty well. There was a LAN party. So that was fun. I didn't play.
Yeah, there was a lot of people around. Everyone was having a good time. Seemed like a good party.
What it's supposed to be about, right?
Yeah, we cleaned up most things. Headed back to the Airbnb. All was well.
And just try to figure out.
We got to see John finally, because poor John in media he had a half price burrito at the end of the day at the airport.
It was not half price. It was just the last one. And so I think
It did not go well for John.
Sorry,
No.
John.
Days and
Yeah.
days.
You would
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
a guy that lives in California would know better than an airport burrito in Milwaukee, but yikes.
No, he had it in California.
It might have been
before.
California before.
Oh,
left.
even worse. Betrayed.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but he was
bad. He was
yeah.
in bad shape all weekend. Poor guy.
so sad.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to awards. Who's gonna start?
All right.
Chris.
Sure. Class A was Tata's in their Catamaro. This is their 60th race in this car. It is their 10th win, but they haven't had one in a while. But this is
They all kept saying they're like,
before you ask, yes, we did give them some penalty points. They overcame it. And we're very clean all weekend, except for one minor incident by the national effing drivers champion, Neil Losi.
Which
He was-
he talked about that on a group chat that we're all in, and he was like, "It is really troubling to be the slowest driver on a really fast team." And then he's like, "And I'm the only black flag." Ah.
No, there was two. They had one late in the day on Sunday.
Oh, that's right.
And it took them out of the lead, and the Rod Throwing Fools took the lead, and then I don't know, 90 seconds later they got a black flag and came in and lost the lead again.
Oh,
Yeah.
they don't get flags either. Both of those teams are not flaggy.
And they
teams.
I think they had two. I think it was one guy actually.
Two on Sunday, and
Yeah,
they
'cause
were.
it was-
They were going. They were on the same lap Sunday morning after everything, and we're right together.
All of the class A and B, I don't think C really had too many rivals, but A and B definitely had cars around them that went back and forth. So it was not like Tata's did not walk away with this. It was a hard fought win. And they were back and forth, and we were like, "Who's winning? Oh, it's Tata's. Oh no, it's Rod Throwing Fools." Like it was back and forth. So same with B class.
Hey, good.
B class ended up going to Jackpot Racing in their 2010 Honda Fit, and this is like a Grid Life Sunday Cup car, and they have 115 horsepower on those long ass straights. They maintained their momentum, and they were in the top 10 all weekend. So you think you need a massive V8 to go dominate at Road America? You do not. These guys proved it. So
they finished 7th overall.
Wow, nice.
But they were also, there was a misclassed car that I'm totally taking responsibility for that was also in B that was running higher than that. So fortunately they broke. So it was, again, it was hard fought.
I need to know what car because I'm judging this weekend and they might show up. Who is it?
I don't think so. It was a red Thunderbird.
Okay.
It belonged in A and there was in B. Anyway, Class C. So now, this is a judging conundrum. You get a car that's just like not a very good car at all, and you put it in C, and it doesn't break all weekend, and it finishes in the top 10. Like you feel a little bad, but then sometimes the blind squirrel finds a nut. And this was the High Roof Racing in their 2009 Chevy HHR SS turbocharged. Had a massive fuel cell, but it never broke, and they drove well, and we never saw them in penalty. Like. Okay.
When I started doing this, Eric Rude said the key to it is at the end of the day, if that car wins, whatever, can you point to it and say, you just got beat by one of these? It's a Chevy HHR, man. At of all places, Road America.
Right.
Yeah. Well done. They earned it.
Yep.
Stop trying to go fast.
The heroic fix went to yesterday's Autosports in their 1997 Dodge Neon. They had a colossal failure in the number 2 cylinder. Spent hours and hours rebuilding the motor.
That's the Miata. That's the next one. That's screwed. Yeah.
Oh, that was the MGB. The
Miata GB.
You are right. I'll do that one first then. So since I was halfway there, barn full of crap racing in their Miata hat car MGB, blew the number 2 cylinder, and then went ferociously trying to rebuild the motor. Took hours and hours and hours. They put it in the car. They go back out and immediately fail in the same spectacular fashion with the same cylinder. So
the best part about their motor swap, though, is that they didn't have an engine hoist and didn't find one. So they had a 4x4 piece of wood and some chain and a bunch of people. And that's how they got the engine in and out of the car.
Well done. We're
so
gonna lift it. It's a 1.8 liter. Ah.
So good. The heroic fix was the Dodge Neon 1997, yesterday's auto sports. Chris, tell the story. You got a better version of it than I do.
Well, it was a good heroic fix. Like immediately they go out, put a big hole through the side of the engine. A little over 2 hours later, the new motor's in and it's running. And it runs like a train all weekend, and we never see them in penalty. Like, so yeah, they started off with a bad time, did the very fast motor swap, and it worked out great, which is not usually how these things go. So,
and there are a lot of cars that we talked to that were broken, a lot of broken cars. We started with 145, and at the end of the day, there was 62 on track, 60, low 60s on Sunday. So there were a lot of people that we talked to that said they weren't going to fix it. And that was on Saturday afternoon.
I don't want
there was a parade.
I don't want to fix my car.
Yeah, there were almost as many people in the parade out of the paddock Sunday with their broken crap than there was on Friday in front of Siebkens. It was a lot of carnage. Not like crashy. It was not a crashy race.
No. But if it was minor damage, bumpers, that kind of stuff. No red flags. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's a head gasket. Are you gonna fix it?" No, I don't think so. What? Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Weak sauce.
No.
Judge's choice went to Roadwork Racing, the number 50 BMW 325. I have to say, this team was one of my favorites. They were awesome. I mean, if you're going to bring a BMW, you better act like these guys. They got penalty after penalty. They were the ones we talked about with the first one to do the puzzle with the gloves and the tape. And then they got a fourth penalty with like an hour to go. So I gave them the door prize. So the door prize, if you don't know what that is you have to bring your door to Siebkens and have a beer, take a picture with you and your team having a beer at Siebkens. Well, they said, well, our car is registered. Can we just drive it there and take the door off there? And I said, absolutely, you can. That would be fantastic. I wish I had video of them removing their door in the street
sidewalk
in front of Siebkens. So they go in, and there's a big team.
I feel like a few townspeople were like, "What are they doing there?" And somebody walked by and went, "Lemons."
Yeah. So there was like 10 of them, and they go in and they've got this roadwork theme, and they're all in their construction apparel and everything else. And they said, would it be okay if we could figure out how to like tape the beers to the door and do like a shot ski, like a door ski off of the thing? And I was like, yes, someone has to video. One guy can't do it because I have to have video of that. So they didn't figure that out, but they had some great pictures. They had a blast with it. So hats off to those guys. They were just awesome all weekend.
Great attitude. And then Sunday they turned it around, and that we only saw them in the penalty box when they self-reported for
two times.
Actually penalties. Like, well, I went on the rumble strips. We're like, that's okay. It's okay.
They were so awesome.
That is awesome. That really, that's one. I feel like they get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next one was the regional award. This is kind of Randy's special. He was so excited about this. He had put out somewhere somehow that he would really like to have a LAN party. That is
what?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do
LAN,
that.
local area network.
You missed one, but okay.
Yep. Oh, keep going. Okay. This makes total sense because that's old school, like nerd speak. Before the internet was everywhere, you would go to somebody's house with your computer
and you all plug
play
in
multi-role.
Why don't you take it over from here, and then I'll do the other one.
That's fine.
Duke Nukem and all that kind of stuff. That That
Yeah. So Randy
Randy.
challenged. It's so Randy. Randy challenged one of these teams to do it, and they set it up pretty much at the end of the potluck.
They set it up the entire potluck. It took them a while to do it, but
Okay,
it
fine.
started
They got it all
functioning
set
at
up.
the end.
And there were what, 8 people, 10 people?
10.
I'm trying to think of how many on each
10
side.
there were 10 computers. Yeah,
Yeah.
10 computers.
Bunch of e-waste laptops.
Yes, and Randy, we left probably not too late, but Randy stayed to all hours and played. And this was a Honda Fit, which was fairly hopeless. Did they break? We didn't see them much, but I think we were happy when they went out on track. So I don't know if they were just. I think they were a bunch
went
of
through a
kids.
clutch or two or something like that.
Well, they were a bunch of kids, so we didn't really see them around, and we were happy when they were going out on track. So, yes, this is terminally off-track racing for number 418 in a Honda Fit. So Randy wanted to give them an award because he was excited that they showed up with a LAN party. Okay,
I appreciate that. Yeah, Randy is a Lemons guy to his DNA.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go through org choice. So
please.
We got to go back to New Jersey 2025. That's this year. Randy and I are sitting on one of those couches that the Italian Job team brought, grandmom's couches covered in plastic, listening to the band, and we've had a few beverages, and Randy and I are talking about steaming. And between Three Pedal Mafia and League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen, there have been a lot of very good themes, and there's a lot of ideas in the bucket for both of us. And we're talking about themes that we really didn't know how to do. And the one that we settled on and talked a lot about was the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. And how do you do an Edmund Fitzgerald theme? That's just so tough.
Gordon Lightfoot does not lend himself to Lemon's theming very easily.
No, that's the joke. Is like, you want to kill a party? Put on the record with the Edmund Fitzgerald, another Gordon Lightfoot song, right?
Yes.
So these guys, who are friends of Randy's, they said they came to him with this idea independently a couple weeks later. And he's like, yeah, go for it. And this is a race to do it. So they did. They had a Volvo 240 wagon. They painted it up like the Edmund Fitzgerald, of course. But that wasn't it. It was the details. All night in Seepkins, the night of the parade, they hijacked the jukebox and they played Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald every other song, because you can't play every song. Every time we would go by or go in, and that's what's playing.
I heard it earlier. I went in to go use the restroom, and I was like, pretty sure that's before I knew they were doing this. Yeah,
I'm gonna wait for the next song to come on before I come in.
Like, they gave the judges some iron ore because that's what the Edmund Fitzgerald was carrying that
which is like $90 a pound, by the way.
Holy shit. Okay.
Really
wow.
heavy.
Nice.
Right.
And no one actually wanted it. Then you just have this brick.
Right. They put bumpers out in the car at the parade, boat bumpers. Their drink that they served at the potluck was a punch bowl, essentially. It was supposed to be the current state of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So it was a clear liquid. It was white cranberry juice and vodka. And in the bottom of it was half of a shipwreck, some little aquarium weeds, and 29 skulls for the 29 people that died on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Right? Their team name was, they were car number 29, and their team name was called Times for Each Man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. Like, all those details like that, they leaned to it so hard. It was a theme that's impossible to do. The only thing they could have done better was on Sunday morning just be completely gone, vanished away from the track. That's the only thing they could have possibly done better, is just be gone. But no, they stayed around because they were completely broken all weekend with some hopeless clutch issues. I've never seen a pressure plate in a clutch break into 4 pieces before. And then they tried to buy one from somebody on Craigslist. It turns out it was for a Volvo semi truck. Even after they talked them down to $400, it was $17. Well, that was not going to fit. So, things like that. But they had a great attitude all weekend, and they did a great job with a completely terrible, obscure theme. So that was
very well done. Oh, I'm genuinely bummed that I was not there to see that because that just sounds like something I would have just giggled all
think
weekend.
they did it better than we might have, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's
They
not like
nailed
we're
it.
incapable of doing good themes. You hand that idea to DJ 914, and you're getting something awesome. But damn, bro,
It was
you're on
good.
another level. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. HMG went to Grimace Racing. So Grimace Racing is a purple Mazda 2. And
Which kind of looks like Grimace.
Right. So we had, and I feel like you might have seen other videos of when he was in the videos of Grimace riding bikes. He's riding skateboards. Yes, Tim.
Grimace Racing, if you're listening, please cut the corners off of your spoiler. It's terrifying to anybody that's standing within 3 feet of that thing.
Every time we jumped out of the way because their spoiler was quite large, and it was like an ankle biter. Fortunately, none of us got bitten.
Big spoiler on a tiny car.
So yes, it was actually. So
razor sharp.
Grimace is a purple car. It was a great team. So Grimace was everywhere. I found Grimace looking at everybody.
Blow up costume of Grimace on a guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. They were very interested in everybody who was broken. I saw them working on a car, looking at people, anybody who was working on anything, he would get off his bike and go over to them. And what he would, so sometimes Grimace would give you a happy meal and he would try to make you happier. And the problem was that the happy meal, when you looked in it, had an Old Milwaukee beer, warm, one cigarette, a piece of warm cheese, and maybe a squishy duck. And so, what?
Had a little note.
And a note. Yeah. It was a Grimace wants to make you happy, and it was a nice little a purple note to try to cheer you up. So the funny thing is somebody walked by and somebody was saying that they got a Happy Meal. And before they looked in it, they were like, oh, yeah, I could really use some fries right now. And then they look at it and it's got a warm piece of cheese and a warm beer.
And a Marlboro.
Oh, no, it was unlabeled. We think it was hand rolled and handmade. I don't know that I heard of anybody actually trying to smoke it, but because we had time, standing around looking at it, and somebody who knows cigarettes more than we do was like, no, pretty sure these were handmade because there's no label on them whatsoever. There was no markings, no nothing. So, Grimace Racing, they were amazing and really helpful, really nice. They were joking about how bad the costume smelled at the end of the weekend. They were saying it. So when they came up to accept their award, they had an air freshener hanging at the eyes where they were, and they said it was just awful. So, cheers to them. Great time. Yeah, we didn't see them in the penalty box too much. The one, if Grimace, if you're listening, there was a lady who came into the penalty box and she was like full out crying, which was very sad. And so I don't know where Grimace was to cheer her up, but yeah, I don't know what happened, but she was very upset.
She's probably crying. She smoked a crappy cigarette and drank a warm Milwaukee.
Maybe, yeah. But it was super fun. And then they gave us the board, and they were also just like really helpful, really nice. Anyway. And then IOE went to the Rambler. Somebody have more stats on this than I am aware of.
Well, this thing's been around for so many years. Right. It has gone through, I don't know how many powertrains over the years. It's been passed around, handed off, driven cross country, you name it.
McDaniels worked on this car.
It's
Harry Ringel, Corey Dickman.
I believe it's had 5 different motors in it. Not
no, because this had multiple motors, but 5 completely different.
5
types.
Completely different models of motor in it.
Yes, and it's. You remember in high school the cool kids' lunch table, the table they all sat at? That's the Rambler. The Rambler is the physical table that every cool kid in Lemons is sat at.
Yeah, and Albert's got it now, and he's put a Ford 3.8 liter V6 of I think it's the engine out of Sloman's original engine out of the Mustang.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So that's in it. And it ran pretty well all weekend, but this is more of a lifetime achievement award for the Rambler and for Albert, who's he's retiring from racing after this for a while. So we said, well, what better way to send him out? He hasn't gotten an IOE since 2011, despite all of the crap he's brought.
But now, to his credit, the Rambler finished what?
Not very well, but it's still
finished.
They had an issue Sunday.
Most of the weekend, but not all.
Yeah. They burned through their brake pads on Saturday, and they were and they had to try to get new brake pads, and that runs a 1991, I think, Thunderbird pad.
Mm-hmm.
Got calipers on the back, and nowhere to be found. So we ended up having to get something similar to it, and then hand cut his own pads to get through the rest of the day on Sunday. So Albert's out there with his welding gloves and his death wheel, mocking up some rear pads for that thing.
And you can win this car. You can win it. We've got a link in the show notes. For $20, you can buy a ticket to have what I depending on your attitude might be the most famous car in limits.
And Mental, guess what else you get? Not just a car. You get a free entry
because
he donated it back.
That's worth $500 right there. If you're thinking about entering a Lemons race and you're like, oh, what car should I buy?
That's worth $1,800.
$1,800. Yeah.
Oh, throw $500 at raffle tickets because it's all going to a charity. It's a tax write-off anyway. And you could win the Rambler. That'd be dope.
So should we throw a little quick plug for Jill and talk about the sales that we had for Lemons of Love?
Yes, please.
So we started out one team with their penalty. We got as a bribe a bunch of fresh vegetables. So we got cucumbers and jalapenos and some zucchini and some big thing of tomatoes. And we were all like, what are we going to do with, like, these look fantastic. What are we going to do with these? So we gave some away to some people that were local. And then we had a young team of rookies that got their third penalty. And we had them go out with a QR code and the big Lemons of Love picture frame that you take pictures of yourself in. And we had them set up a vegetable stand and sell vegetables for Lemons of Love. So we got some money from that. Then there was another team that brought, it was like a ridiculous number of like little saplings. Chris, do you know the number?
Like 200 or something?
Like, yeah, a lot.
Like a lot.
A lot.
Tree farm that brought a whole bunch of potted tree saplings to sell for Lemons of Love.
So we had another team go to sell all the things, and they were like, well, I'm just going to throw the trump card on this one, checkbook, and they bought all of the trees and then went back out on track. So they sold all of the vegetables, all of the trees, and I
think then they resold the trees because nobody bought. They didn't buy the trees; they just bought.
They just gave them a
payment. Check. And so then they were like, "Well, the trees are still for sale." So more people bought them, more people sold them.
And then, lastly, the Lemons of Love stickers that you can buy, the get out of jail free-ish cards. They have not sold out since, when did she say, 2009?
Pre-COVID, she said.
Yeah. And guess what? We sold every single one of those stickers at Road America.
Problem is, I think they didn't get enough instruction about why the stickers were good for people, because they'd sit in line, they'd have a whole conversation, and then people would be like, but I have this. And I was like, great.
You should have led with that.
Yeah. Right, I've already wasted your time, so that's not helpful. So yeah, that didn't help.
There was one team, they were on their fourth. They got their fourth black flag, and I was like, guys, we gotta park you for the rest of the day. And they're like, but we have this sticker. And there was only like 40 minutes left in the day, and I was like, based on your track record, you should save that for tomorrow.
All right.
So, noble effort, gentlemen, but let's get some value out of this one.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the race.
That was the
weekend.
Hey,
it was great.
everybody, we had very ambitious plans about talking about the High Plains Raceway event that's coming up, but we're not going to get there. And so I'm going to link that episode in our show notes where Tim and I do a turn-by-turn of High Plains Raceway. It's a very good episode, and we're very accurate on that one. That's coming up this weekend. We talked about the entries on there. So if you are hoping to get a little bit of insight into that, go ahead and click on that link and listen to everything we talk about on that one. Know that your Lemon Supreme Court that is coming into that one is going to be Judge Eric Rood is your Chief Justice. Tom Webb, Denver local, who's also going to be that one. Oh, who's that third idiot that they're... Oh, wait, that's right. It's me. I'm the third idiot. And then we're also going to have Trapper as judge in training, and we are going to turn that place into Deer Trail, Rock City. And yes, that is a hint to the judge's theme, which is epic. So watch that episode. Check all of that stuff out.
Well, that's a lot.
Fantastic.
I can't wait to hear about it. So you should be sleeping like right now all the time. So
Yep.
Gonna be a long one. And we'll miss it.
It is. It's going to be a great one. So, yeah. And then, yes, I was at the Salt Flats, and I had a little note in there, and my loving and caring and wonderful co-host have reminded me that this deserves its own episode. We will talk about the Salt Flats. 2 sentences. You need to go. And we'll talk about exactly how you can do it, because you've got 11 months to prepare. It's fine. You can do it in your streetcar. And I would ask you all, please, the link is in our show notes. Follow Project 213 and 26. That's going to be on there. That's how I ended up out there on this one. So, yeah, next episode.
Probably a wrap.
I think it's the NCM preview and the High Plains Hangover.
Yeah. We've got a lot of material coming up in the next month.
Yeah.
Many things to talk about.
Yes.
Sounds great.
Yes. We are in the meat of the fall racing season. So, yeah. Well, to steal a line from our favorite non-E1R podcast, Apex Adjacent, I think we done did a podcast.
We done did a car show.
Yep. Sure did.
Nice to see you all this weekend.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, or even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up, unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.